And today, we are going to learn how to burn that ghost town to the ground and build a golden city in its place. We will dissect the anatomy of a truly unbreakable community, and I promise you, by the end of our session, you will hold the blueprint for forging a spirit so resilient, it becomes a diamond. Title card. A brilliant, multifaceted diamond flashes on screen, refracting the colors of the rainbow. Inside, stylized figures strike dramatic poses. Title appears in bold, stylish font. The diamond is unbreakable. A philosophy of a resilient community. ###Phase 2. The problem, visuals shift to a first-person perspective. The world is slightly desaturated. We walk down a street. People pass by, their faces blurred, their bodies transparent. You feel it as a low hum of anxiety beneath the surface of your daily routine. You know your neighbor's schedule. They leave at 8:15, they return at 6:30, but you do not know their name. You exchange pleasantries with the barista every morning, a ritual of empty words that signifies nothing. You are a node in a network, but the connections carry no charge. Have you ever been in your own home and heard a strange noise outside? A shout. A crash. And what did you do? Perhaps you peered through the blinds, your heart a nervous drum against your ribs. You felt a flash of concern, quickly replaced by a colder, more practical thought. Asterisk, it's not my problem. Someone else will handle it. You retreated from the window. You turned the television up. You let the ghost town claim another small piece of your soul. This is the syndrome in action. It's the collective agreement to look away. A quick, sharp visual of a single person trying to lift an impossibly heavy, gray block. They strain, their stylized muscles bulging, but it doesn't budge. All around them, other figures stand perfectly still, watching, their backs turned. But here is the hidden cost, the poison in the well. This isolation isn't a passive state, it is an active corrosion. It breeds a terrifying fragility. When you believe you are alone, you begin to build your life as if it were a fortress. But a fortress with one defender is not a stronghold, it is a prison. The ghost town syndrome whispers a seductive, damning lie. That you are safer when you are disconnected. That responsibility is a burden, and anonymity is a shield. But when the real threat arrives, not a strange noise in the night, but a true crisis that lands on your doorstep, you will find your fortress has no walls, and your shield is made of glass. The silence you cultivated for peace becomes the silence of abandonment. The ghosts, you will realize, were you all along. ###Phase 3. Solution, the screen explodes with vibrant, saturated color. A map of a bizarre, beautiful town unfolds like a pop-up book. The architecture is strange, the colors are unreal. Characters in flamboyant outfits strike impossible poses. But what if a town chose a different path? What if it looked at the specter of isolation and laughed in its face? What if it decided that its weirdness, its dangers, and its secrets were not things to be hidden, but were, in fact, the very bedrock of its strength? To understand this, we must turn our analytical gaze to a place that hums with an almost violent vibrancy. A sleepy Japanese suburb that is anything but. We are going to Morioh. The central philosophy of Morioh, the lesson at the heart of JoJo's bizarre adventure. Diamond is unbreakable, is this. True resilience, the kind that cannot be shattered, is not born from uniformity, politeness, or grand, abstract ideals. It is forged in the crucible of shared existence. It is a philosophy of the golden heart, an active, almost aggressive commitment to the people and the place you inhabit, warts and all. It is the profound understanding that your fate is inextricably, and often inconveniently, tangled up with the fate of the weirdo next door. The town is you, and you are the town. This golden heart is not a passive feeling. It is an active principle, built on 3 pillars of thought. Visuals zoom in on a stylized character striking a pose. As each principle is explained, the scene shifts to another character, illustrating the idea with dramatic flair. Principle 1. The bizarre is the bond. Morioh is not a normal town. It is a haven for the eccentric. A manga artist who is pathologically obsessed with reality. An Italian chef whose food heals the body and soul. A reformed biker delinquent with a pompadour that defies physics. And, of course, a whole population of people wielding supernatural abilities called stands. In a ghost town, these individuals would be ostracized. Their weirdness would be a source of suspicion and fear. But in Morioh, this shared secret of strangeness becomes the town's lifeblood. It is the unspoken truth that binds them together. They don't have to like each other's bizarre qualities, but they are forced to acknowledge them. By embracing its own freakish nature, the town creates a culture where authenticity, in its most extreme forms, is the price of admission. The unspoken rule is, you are strange, I am strange, and that means we are in this together. Principle 2. Proximity is responsibility. In Morioh, you cannot ignore the world outside your door. The characters are constantly, and often against their will, crashing into each other's lives. A dispute over a lottery ticket escalates into a supernatural battle. A search for a good lunch spot becomes a life or death confrontation. This is more than just physical closeness, it is a psychological contract. It is a philosophy of aggressive neighborliness. The problems of one person ripple outwards, immediately and unavoidably, to become the problems of all. Why? Because they understand a fundamental truth that the ghost town forgets. A cancer left to grow in your neighbor's yard will one day spread to your own. A threat to one is a threat to the town's equilibrium. This is not altruism. It is a form of profound, enlightened self-interest. You protect your neighbor to protect yourself. You get involved because the cost of apathy is annihilation. The scene shifts. A haunting, ethereal ghost girl, Reimi Sugimoto, points a spectral finger forward. The visuals become darker, more somber, but with a golden light emanating from her. Principle 3. The scars are the landmarks. Every town has its ghosts, its dark histories, its collective traumas. The ghost town buries them. It paves them over, pretends they never happened, and grows sterile and forgetful. Morioh does the opposite. The town is literally haunted by the ghost of Reimi Sugimoto, the first victim of a hidden serial killer. She is not a shameful secret, she is a landmark. She is the town's conscience, its memory, its open wound that refuses to heal. The dark legacy of the killer, the unresolved mysteries, the lingering sense of danger, these are not swept under the rug. They are the rallying points. They are the constant, chilling reminders of what the people of Morioh are fighting to protect. They give the community a common cause, a shared dragon to slay. A community's strength is not measured by its lack of scars, but by how it chooses to wear them. Think of it like this. A pristine, white porcelain teacup is shown. It falls in slow motion and shatters into 1,000 pieces. The ghost town is a perfect, sterile porcelain teacup. It prides itself on its flawless surface, its lack of imperfections. But at the first sign of pressure, the first fall, it is utterly destroyed. It becomes dust. But Morioh is a Kintsugi bowl. It has been broken. It has been cracked, stressed, and traumatized. But with every fracture, its people have rushed to fill the fissures with molten gold. With bizarre courage, with fierce loyalty, with an unbreakable spirit. The breaks do not weaken it. They become the map of its history. The lines of gold are the proof that it was broken, and it refused to be thrown away. The scars are what make it beautiful, valuable, and whole. Unbreakable. ###Phase 4. The application, the tone shifts to be more direct, instructional. The visuals become cleaner, like a stylish infographic or a Vogue photoshoot with clear, numbered steps. This philosophy is not just a story. It is a practical guide. You can begin the work of transforming your personal ghost town into a golden community. You can forge your own golden heart. It requires practice. It requires action. Here's your training regimen. Number 1. Map your Morioh. I want you to take out a piece of paper, or open a new document. Right now. We will not be idle observers. Draw a map. Not of your city, but of your personal Morioh. This is the sphere of people and places you interact with regularly. Your apartment building, your team at work, your local coffee shop, your online gaming guild. Now, next to each person or place, I want you to answer this question. What is their unique bizarreness? What is the strange quirk, the hidden passion, the weird hobby, the unusual opinion that is typically ignored or smoothed over? The colleague who secretly writes fantasy novels. The neighbor who has a collection of 500 garden gnomes. The oddly specific way your friend organizes their bookshelf. Your mission is not to judge it or even to understand it. Your mission is simply to see it. To acknowledge the texture of their reality. This act of observation is the first step in turning a ghost into a citizen. Number 2. Practice aggressive neighborliness. This week, your assignment is to consciously step over the line of, "not my problem." Choose one small, low-stakes issue within your personal Morioh. A coworker is visibly frustrated with a piece of software. A neighbor is struggling to carry their groceries. The community Discord server has a question that no one is answering. You are not going to solve their life's problems. You are going to offer 5 to 15 minutes of your focused energy. Do not wait to be asked. Do not worry if you have the perfect solution. Simply step in and say, "Looks like you could use a hand. What's the situation?" This is not about becoming a hero. This is a workout. You are flexing the atrophied muscle of shared responsibility. You are breaking the vow of silence. Number 3. Become the town historian. Identify a scar in your community. A shared failure. A painful memory. A difficult period. It could be a project at work that went disastrously wrong. A time your friend group almost fell apart. A personal mistake you made that affected others. The ghost town instinct is to never speak of it again. You will do the opposite. Find a way to honor it. Frame it not as a moment of weakness, but as a moment of survival. Retell the story with a new ending, and that's how we learned we had to communicate better. Or, it was a total disaster, but we survived it, and that's what matters. By acknowledging the cracks, you are pouring the gold. You are transforming a source of shame into a landmark of your collective resilience. You are telling your community, "We were broken here, and we are still standing." Number 4. The Rohan Kishibe inquiry. This is an internal exercise. It is for those moments when the ghost town syndrome feels overwhelming, when the urge to isolate is a siren song. When you want to pull the curtains, put on your headphones, and disappear from the world. In that moment, I want you to stop. And I want you to ask yourself a question inspired by Morioh's master observer, the manga artist Rohan Kishibe. What fascinating story am I refusing to be a part of right now? Reframe your desire for isolation. It is not a need for safety, it is a refusal to turn the page. It is a missed opportunity to be a character in a bizarre and wonderful new chapter. This simple shift in perspective is a powerful incantation. It can be the catalyst that breaks the spell, the force that pushes you out the door and back into the vibrant, chaotic, and beautiful world that is waiting to be experienced. Phase 5. The proof. You may think this is a beautiful fiction, a hopeful tale. But the philosophy of the Golden Heart is a proven strategic advantage. The ultimate proof lies in the central conflict of Morioh itself. The hunt for the serial killer, Yoshikage Kira. Kira is the living embodiment of the ghost town syndrome. His entire philosophy is built on a desire for a quiet life. He craves anonymity. He severs all meaningful connections, changes his identity, and murders anyone who might draw attention to him. He is a predator who thrives in the apathy and disconnection of a community that refuses to see. He is the ghost in the machine. Kira is shown as a shadowy figure, moving unseen through crowds of desaturated, faceless people. He is perfectly camouflaged by their indifference. No single hero could have stopped him. Jotaro Kujo, the powerful and experienced veteran, could not find him alone. Josuke Higashikata, the town's hot-headed protector, was blind to his presence. They were all too isolated. What defeated Kira? The town itself. The network. The bizarre, inefficient, gossiping, interfering, interconnected web of relationships. It was the high school students investigating a ghost. It was the manga artist using his supernatural powers to read a person's life like a book. It was the reformed delinquents, the Italian chef, the dead girl who could not rest. Each one held a piece of the puzzle. It was only when they started talking, when they started practicing aggressive neighborliness and trusting in their shared, bizarre reality, that the silhouette of the monster began to take shape. When Josuke lands the final blow on Kira, he is not fighting as an individual. He is the fist of an entire town that has awakened. He is the vessel for a community that has collectively decided it will no longer tolerate ghosts in its streets. This isn't just anime logic. This is sociological fact. The concept of collective efficacy, developed by the sociologist Robert Sampson, is the academic term for Morioh's golden heart. In extensive studies of neighborhoods in Chicago, Sampson and his colleagues found that the single greatest predictor of lower crime rates was not poverty levels, police presence, or ethnic composition. It was the shared belief among residents that their neighbors could be counted on to intervene for the common good. It was the trust that if someone saw a kid skipping school, they would say something. That if they saw a crime in progress, they would call the police. It was, in essence, a measure of a community's willingness to practice aggressive neighborliness. The neighborhoods that believed they were unbreakable. The ghost town is a self-fulfilling prophecy. But so is the Golden City. The logic is irrefutable. An isolated person is a fragile target. A connected community is a complex, redundant, self-healing system. A threat that can easily overwhelm one can be swarmed and neutralized by 10. The golden heart is not a matter of sentiment. It is a matter of survival. Phase 6. The call to action, the music swells. The voiceover becomes warm, encouraging, a final call to the viewer. The visuals are a beautiful, vibrant montage of all the characters of Morioh, laughing, fighting, and living together. The world will try to sell you the ghost town. It will tell you to mind your own business, to lock your doors, to trust no one. It will tell you that true strength is self-sufficiency. That is the great lie. True strength is the bizarre, inconvenient, and beautiful mess of connection. It is knowing that you are a part of something larger than your own small anxieties. It is the golden web that catches you when you fall. So, let's begin the work of weaving that web, right here, right now. In the comments below, I want you to answer this question. Look at your own life, at your own personal Morioh. What is the most beautifully bizarre thing about it that no one ever talks about? Share that one strange, wonderful detail about your community, your friends, your family, or your workplace. Let's turn this comment section into a landmark, a testament to the weirdness that binds us. If you believe that our bonds are the most precious things we can forge, that our strangeness is our strength, then your spirit belongs here. Subscribe to Golden Spirit. Let us continue to turn life's bizarre adventures into golden truths, together. And finally, the strength of Morioh was forged by individuals who first had to conquer themselves. If you are wrestling with a different kind of internal battle, the one between your own ambition and the danger of arrogance, then your session is not over. You must watch our analysis of the God complex next. Click here. The analysis is about to begin.